The photo changed everything. Adrian had stared at that image 100 times before Isabella walked through the door that night. In the photo, Marco's lips hovered close to hers, not touching, but so close that the entire world believed what Adrian feared most. His wife was no longer his. The caption under the leaked image read, "On-screen chemistry turning real?" Fans were gushing about how perfect Isabella and Marco looked together, how their love seemed to jump off the screen. Adrian wasn't a jealous man by nature. But this wasn't jealousy. This was betrayal bleeding in public. When Isabella entered the house, humming softly like nothing was wrong, Adrian felt rage rise inside him like fire in his veins. For hours, he had imagined this moment, what he would say, how he would demand the truth. But now that she was here, all he felt was an aching emptiness. The clash begins. "Where were you?" His voice was calm, but calm in that terrifying way that warned storms were coming. Isabella froze mid-step, surprised by the tone. "What do you mean?" "I was filming all day."
"Why?"
Adrian held up his phone without another word. The glow of the screen reflected in her eyes as she stared at the image that had broken his heart. Her lips parted slightly. She didn't move, didn't speak. She just stood there, and in that silence, Adrian heard everything he needed to hear. "Say something," he demanded, his voice cracking, not with anger, but with pain. It's not what it looks like," she whispered finally. Adrian laughed, bitter and hollow. "It never is it? That's the first thing cheaters say, cheaters?" "Adrian, are you serious?" "It was just what?" He stepped closer, his voice sharp now. "Just acting? Tell me, Isabella, when did acting start happening off-screen?" Her hands trembled. "It wasn't like that. Marco and I were just friends. That photo, it was nothing." "Nothing?" Adrian's jaw clenched so hard it hurt. "The entire internet thinks you're in love with him, and you expect me to believe you're just friends?" "Yes," she snapped, tears welling in her eyes. "Yes, because it's the truth. I love you, Adrian."
"You."
Not him. But something in her voice didn't sound like love. It sounded like desperation, like someone clinging to a rope already fraying. The first lie is spoken. Adrian stared at her, searching her face for answers. "Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't spend the night with him last week." Her breath caught. For the briefest second, her gaze faltered, just long enough to confirm what she was about to deny. "No," she said firmly, her voice steady now. "I didn't." The lie tasted like poison on her tongue, but she swallowed it anyway. Because if she told the truth, if she admitted that last week, in a moment of weakness, she had gone to Marco's hotel room after shooting, and they had kissed, everything would end. And she wasn't ready for that. Not yet. Adrian stared at her for a long, heavy moment. Then, without a word, he turned and walked out. The sound of the door closing was louder than any argument they had ever had. The spiral begins. That night, Adrian didn't come home. He didn't answer her calls or respond to her texts. Isabella sat in the dark living room, shaking, replaying the confrontation over and over. She had lied to him. She had broken the one thing they promised never to break, trust. And yet, a part of her still whispered that she wasn't wrong, that Adrian had pushed her away first, that he stopped seeing her, stopped loving her the way he used to. But deep down, she knew the truth. She had crossed a line. Adrian, meanwhile, drove aimlessly through the city, anger burning like acid in his chest. He wasn't just angry at her. He was angry at himself for not seeing it coming, for believing their love was unbreakable. He ended up in a hotel bar, nursing a glass of whiskey, when a familiar voice called his name. Vanessa. The return of Vanessa. She looked like a vision from another life. Blonde curls cascading over her shoulders, that smile that once made his heart skip. "Adrian?" she said, surprise and warmth in her voice. "I thought that was you." They talked. At first, it was harmless. Old times, college memories, laughter that felt like a balm on his wounded heart. But then, the conversation shifted. She told him she was single now, that she had always wondered what life would have been like if they hadn't gone separate ways. Her hand touched his arm, soft, lingering. Adrian didn't plan to go upstairs with her. He didn't plan to betray his marriage. But when Vanessa whispered, "You deserve someone who sees you," something inside him broke. And that night, Adrian crossed his own line. Isabella's descent. While Adrian was making mistakes of his own, Isabella's world was spiraling. The media frenzy over the photo hadn't died. It had grown louder, uglier. Headlines accused her of destroying her marriage, of betraying the perfect husband. Brands threatened to pull endorsements. Her manager warned her to control the narrative before it ruined her career. She called Marco. He answered on the first ring. "You okay?" His voice was warm, soothing, the opposite of Adrian's cold silence. "No," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I'm not." "Come over," Marco said. "Let me take care of you." And she did. She went, because she needed comfort, and Marco gave her exactly that. Two hearts breaking in different beds. That night, Adrian lay in a hotel bed with Vanessa, her head on his chest, guilt gnawing at his soul. Isabella, miles away, lay in Marco's arms, the taste of betrayal still fresh on her lips. Two people who once swore forever were now strangers crossing lines they could never uncross. And neither of them knew that this was only the beginning of the destruction. Part 3 ends here, with both Adrian and Isabella guilty, both hiding secrets, and both too broken to admit what they've done. Next up, Part 4, Broken Promises. In Part 4, the lies multiply, the fights explode, the media tears them apart, and a shocking event will push them closer to the edge than ever before.